This is IGN. Zootopia 2 becomes the highest-grossing animated Hollywood film of all time. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, everyone's noticing how the film industry is shifting, including major A-listers like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, who recently opened up about the fact that Netflix wants to change how films are being made. During a recent appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast promoting their new Netflix film The Rip, Damon revealed that the streamer wants to make it so that action set pieces in films occur during the beginning section of the runtime because audiences give, quote, a very different level of attention to movies at home versus in theaters. The standard way to make an action movie that we learned was you usually have 3 set pieces. One in the first act, one in the second, one in the third, Damon explained on the podcast. You spend most of your money on that one in the third act. That's your finale. And now they're like, can we get a big one in the first 5 minutes? We want people to stay. And it wouldn't be terrible if you reiterated the plot 3 or 4 times in the dialogue because people are on their phones while they're watching. However, Affleck noted that there are still successful projects that don't adhere to those new rules, projects like the acclaimed miniseries Adolescence, which consists of episodes shot in one continuous take. Damon called this kind of project the exception to Netflix's new way of thinking, while Affleck affirmed that the success of the show demonstrates you don't have to do what Netflix wants in order to draw audiences in and keep them there. Many films prove this theory right every day, and ultimately, it comes down to having a well-crafted, unforgettable story at the center of your project. That's the only thing that'll truly make audiences see the merit in the work, the only foolproof method. Damon and Affleck's new film, The Rip, was written and directed by Joe Carnahan and stars Teyana Taylor, Steven Yeun, and Kyle Chandler, alongside the Good Will Hunting stars. The movie is now available to stream on Netflix. And Marvel stars Idris Elba, Wunmi Mosaku, and Martin Freeman seemingly won't appear in Avengers Doomsday, as, quote, not everyone from the past phase of movies is being brought back for the team-up movie. During an appearance on the BBC's Graham Norton show, the trio were asked by the host if they are set to join Doomsday's already enormous cast for the Marvel movie that everyone's in. After a moment's silence, Freeman responded to say, apparently not everyone. Freeman plays Everett Ross and has appeared in 3 MCU movies to date, though was most recently seen in 2023's forgettable Disney Plus series Secret Invasion. The suggestion here is that we won't be seeing him again anytime soon. Of the 3, Wunmi Mosaku's absence in Doomsday would be the biggest surprise, as her character is currently head of the TVA, Marvel's multiversal enforcement agency. Of course, we know that Loki himself will appear in the movie, and that Doomsday's story seemingly deals with the ramifications of the Avengers' multiversal tampering to date. It would be odd if the TVA didn't factor in somehow, and we didn't see its leader appear, especially after that Deadpool and Wolverine cameo. None of the 3 actors were named by Marvel as being in the movie as part of the company's big chair reveal stream a year ago, and there's been no leak or report so far to suggest they've filmed scenes in secret. Zootopia 2 is now the highest-grossing animated Hollywood film of all time, with a huge $1.703 billion worldwide haul, $390 million domestically and $1.31 billion internationally. The Disney film has overtaken Inside Out 2's $1.7 billion box office haul from 2024. Chinese fantasy film Ne Zha 2, with its astronomical $2.259 billion global box office, remains the highest-grossing animated movie of all time. Zootopia 2 is now the number 9 highest-grossing global release of all time, ahead of 2019's The Lion King with $1.663 billion, 2015's Jurassic World with $1.672 billion, and the aforementioned Inside Out 2. Number 8 on the list is 2021's Spider-Man No Way Home, which made $1.921 billion at the global box office. Disney's other monstrous moneymaker, Avatar: Fire and Ash, is now up to $1.319 billion worldwide after 5 weekends, $363.5 million domestically and $955.3 million internationally. Writer and director James Cameron is yet to signal that Avatar 4 and 5 are definitely going to happen, as box office watchers wonder whether Fire and Ash has done well enough to convince the powers that be at Disney to move ahead. The special effects heavy Avatar films cost a huge amount of money to produce, but they have historically made billions of dollars at the box office. 2009's Avatar 1 remains the highest grossing movie of all time, not adjusted for inflation, earning a staggering $2.9 billion across several theatrical runs. 2022's Avatar The Way of Water has earned $2.3 billion meanwhile, cementing its place as the third highest grossing film of all time. Fire and Ash looks like it will struggle to come anywhere near to the box office hauls of its predecessors. Meanwhile, horror sequel 28 years later, The Bone Temple, appears to be struggling, with $31.2 million from its worldwide opening. Just $13 million came in domestically. To put that into context, 28 years later, which came out only 7 months ago, opened to $30 million from North American theaters alone. While The Bone Temple has great review scores, IGN's review returned an 8 out of 10, it may be suffering from releasing too soon after 28 years later. The hope for Sony will be positive word of mouth fuels a recovery. What does this mean for the next film in the planned sequel trilogy? Last month, Sony confirmed it was moving forward with the third installment of the 28 years later films, with the decision coming over a month before the release of The Bone Temple. Alex Garland, who's written all the franchise entries thus far, was said to be working on the third entry, which does not have a title at this point. Danny Boyle has been open about wanting to direct it. While you wait to find out, check out IGN's article, 5 Questions We Have for the Next 28 Years Later Movie Following the Bone Temple at IGN.com. Elsewhere, The Housemaid is showing remarkable staying power at the box office, hitting $247.3 million worldwide on its 5th weekend. Starring Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried and directed by Paul Feig, The Housemaid is a breakout hit fueled by excellent word of mouth. And finally, A24's Marty Supreme earned $9.8 million this weekend globally, $5.5 million domestically and $4.3 million internationally, for a global total to date of $99.5 million. It's now A24's highest grossing movie in North America with $80 million, passing Everything Everywhere All at Once is $77 million. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.